Well, hey now, everybody. It's the Rob from Kiss 106 and 103GBFRocks.com. As always, here with my tag team partner in podcasting, the madman from the Sudan, Jerry Valeri. Good morning, Jer.
Good morning. I don't know how you slept last night, Rob, but I have a splitting headache. I didn't have the most terrific night's sleep ever. The last thing my daughter said to me before bed was, Daddy, tomorrow at school we're learning about penises.
Oh, she's about that age, isn't she?
She's 11 years old. She's in 5th grade, and today's the health talk.
It was
and
5th grade for me, too. I remember vividly.
Like, we're learning about the human body. And I was like, oh, yeah, we're learning about the kidney, the liver, the pancreas. What are we learning about? The heart, the lungs, the brain?
That's called beating around the bush.
Yeah, well, they're learning about the bush. And they're going to learn about it. Like, what do they teach? People argue all the time that, like, they don't teach things in school that help you as an adult. Like, they never really taught you. They teach you geometry and they teach you math and calculus, but they don't teach you how to do your basic taxes. They show you health class and they kind of beat around the bush with menses, but they never tell you that you need to shave it. So you're just like stumbling through the world, not really knowing what you're doing. But I'm not thrilled about the fact that, like, today I was like, oh, God, they're going to talk about that. And they're going to talk about the other one and how they go together probably. And if they don't talk about how they go together in school, the kids will talk about how they go together on the bus.
Sure. So I remember this day. It was also 5th grade for me. And I remember, so I can tell you that at that point in my life, I knew what sex was, and I knew that sex created the baby.
The miracle of life.
Right. And I applied that over the past few months. What I did not know, and I feel like this was definitely the overall sense for all of the boys, because I remember they separated the boys from the girls and they went to different classrooms.
Right. That's what they did with us, too.
And we didn't know about periods. And we were all like, what? They do what for 5 days every month?
And it doesn't die?
And I think that the actual, boy, how do I want to word this? What happens?
Menses?
No, well, when a guy finishes, I don't think I knew. Yeah, right. Yeah, you know.
The grand finale.
Val Venus's finishing move. I didn't exactly, I think I may have been opened up about that too.
The frog splash. when a guy frog splashes.
You know what I'm talking about, right? You follow me, right?
Yes, the money. I know what you're saying.
Okay, great. So yeah, that was what I really learned.
Yes, I follow you.
So let me ask you, do you think your daughter is aware of sex?
So when we're watching The Simpsons and Homer's getting in bed with Marge, I see her like get embarrassed. I think she kind of gets it. I think she knows. I think she might kind of know, but I don't think she knows the whole width and breadth of it all. In 5th grade, I don't think you should.
Do you think she knows that sex creates a baby?
Yes. Okay. I know I think she definitely knows that.
Well, then she knows what sex is.
I guess. I don't know, man. I'm still trying to figure out how we're going to talk about Santa. I'm not ready for all of this. And we've had discussions at the house. We've talked about it, and I guess Kelly's talked to her about her period and all that business.
Has she started that?
She has not.
Okay.
She has not. But it's going to happen at some point soon. When they separated us in school, my school failed me because I still don't know anything, because they separated the boys and the girls went off and they talked about menses. And we were taken into a room with a 300-year-old gym teacher who said abstinence is the only way to prevent childbirth, and then spent the rest of the class talking about how to throw the perfect curveball. I'm not even making this up. Like, he was the baseball coach. Like, to this day, I can throw a pretty nice breaking ball, but I don't really know anything about my body. I don't know why this does that or this does that, or why the other thing goes like this. I don't know any of it.
And I will also tell you this. this is for sure. At some point today, your daughter is going to think about her parents having sex.
I'm sorry, honey. Well, for her, if she's ever if she's ever archiving my life, and she wants to learn more about her father, and it's 15 years down the road, and she finds this today, I'd like her to know that, ironically enough, just last night, her mother and I smashed. So, so, I mean, it happened like 30 feet down the hallway from you last night.
And Allison, I did not and haven't in a while, because one time when I smashed, I created life. And I did not realize that meant 9 months of abstinence.
Oh, it doesn't mean 9 months of abstinence. It means till they go to college or old enough to fall asleep 30 feet down the hallway. Got to get them out of your bed. That's the trick. Get them out of your bed.
Yeah, I just want to, I'm not, all right, never mind.
Rob just wants to smash. Hashtag, we just want to smash.
Good morning, everybody.
Happy birthday, Bastion Booger.
Hey, it's worth mentioning, I like this show more than I like my own radio show. We can really loosen the belt here. I like that.
I will say the same exact thing. I've enjoyed the post to post so much more than my own show, because I don't feel as
we don't get air checked here, and we don't get negative feedback from here. We just talk like guys, and we talk like wrestling fans, and that's what it's all about, man.
One thing's for sure. If we did get air checked here, we would get negative feedback here.
There wouldn't be an ounce of positive feedback. It'd be like my normal air checks.
They'd be like, what are you doing with the side of beef again? I feel like these metaphors need to go away.
And some of the memes y'all post do not make any sense.
I notice every time that it goes off track, somebody gets wished a happy birthday. I don't get it. I don't get it. Well, happy birthday, Bastion Booger.
Is that real?
It's real. Happy birthday, Bastion Booger. He's the only one today.
I feel like we haven't gotten off track. We just aren't on topic, and we can move into the topic if you want. The topic being what I'm very comfortable calling a really bad SmackDown. A really bad SmackDown. It was like they took Raw and they said, let's have it be just like Raw, only worse. Is that not? And we've been saying that a few times. It's like, because like Raw gets all the preferential treatment, if for no other reason than because it's the day earlier. So when you've got a new Bray Wyatt video, Raw gets it first, and then it's a rerun on SmackDown. I
don't know why they think we haven't seen that already. And I don't know.
I'm not opposed to seeing it a second time. It's just that it's not going to be quite as special the second time.
No, it's probably boring for the people in the crowd, because they're just like, we saw this last night. I paid $150 for my seat.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm okay with them rerunning it, but like it'd be more fair if SmackDown got the new one once in a while and Raw got the rerun. But
I like the SmackDown gave us. I mean, it's a lot like Raw. They gave us some matches. They hot-shotted some matches. You're putting AJ Styles in a championship triple threat against Kofi Kingston and Sami Zayn at the end of the night, even though everybody knew what was going to happen at the end of that thing. Pretty good match, but the wild card things lost me, and way too much Shane McMahon.
I don't know if you're aware of this, and it's funny, but Raw is being commonly referred to as like the worst Raw ever. And I don't agree with that. I would say maybe this month has been one of the worst months of writing, but as a show, as an episode of Raw, I don't think it was bad.
I thought it was bad, but again, I think I'm looking at it through the lens of storytelling, and logistically it's a nightmare. Right. I mean, they keep rewriting the book. They're like, we got to reset. We're rewriting it. And then the next hour they've thrown it out.
I guess it'd be like, I don't know. You know how like every once in a while, I know you jump around on Walking Dead, but like every once in a while they'll do an episode that's completely unrelated to the current storylines. Like maybe there'll be like a history episode of Gabriel or whatever, or not Gabriel.
Yeah, but I don't like those episodes. I don't like the Lisa Simpson episodes of The Simpsons.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, it can be like as a standalone show, it wasn't that bad, but to the way it works with the overarching story, it was.
They're basically trying with this wild card thing to give us the superstar shakeup every week. And all they really have to do to create that is just not have a brand split.
That's what this is.
They're running into a big problem, though. Was it you that posted it? I don't know who gave us the information, but if that's credible information that Fox has told them, if they can't be above 3 million viewers, they will cancel the deal. That's a big problem for the WWE financially.
Look, I don't want to discredit. Mike was the one who sent that to us in a personal message.
Okay.
TV doesn't necessarily work that way. They've got a contract, I want to say, for 3 years. They might get canceled after the 3-year mark, but SmackDown's going to run on Fox.
Okay. But can
Fox
Fox
property?
Well, yeah, that's the question. Can Fox decide what property they use? Because it's easy to say, like, we've got this deal with Fox, and everyone assumes that it's going to be like Fox, like the Fox is going to have it. But they could easily put it on FS1 or FXX and bury it in some extended cable package that's even harder for people to find.
So I don't know the verbiage of the contract, but my understanding is, yes, they can kind of put it where they want it. There's rules. And SmackDown will be, I mean, it's not just going to get canceled without the WWE's consent.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So I'm not too worried about that. And it's a different time. And radio goes through this too. It's like, I feel like only the inexperienced, the people who aren't in radio, ask how people's numbers are. Because in today's day and age in 2019, numbers they don't mean what they meant in the 90s and the 80s.
They don't. In fact, that you and I, like, I'm in a market that doesn't even deal with numbers any longer. They deal with sales and internet hits and things of that nature. And I know you're kind of the same way, although you do get ratings. I think for the first time ever, I asked you how your numbers were this week. It was like the first time ever.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like my brothers and like, you know, my mom and stuff like that. Like I've even stopped telling her, like there used to be big meetings after numbers came out. Now you barely get an email saying how the numbers were. It's not what it's about. Numbers don't track apps, downloads, UVs. And the quote I've always heard is billing is the new ratings. So that's absolutely true in my building for sure. Yeah, and that's the thing. And to be honest with you, I admire your market for dropping the book. It's not that your market's too small to have one. It's that no one in your market is paying for it. And the reason you're not paying for it is because it is literally the cost of a human being's salary when that book comes out.
It's insane. And the numbers and ratings wise I don't know if it's the same way in television, but it can be finessed where every station in the market can somehow find a way to claim that they're number one somehow.
Absolutely. And then not only that, like I know in Evansville or whatever, it's like, so they send out all these diaries and ask people to record what they've been listening to and then send them back, please.
Yeah. And then they'll send you $1
or $2. Yeah.
Or $2.
And I can tell you from my understanding is only about 200 people in that neighborhood send those books back. They're basing those numbers off of really incredible information. Now, I'm not complaining because the books have always been pretty kind to me, but it's a very flawed system for an awful lot of money.
Absolutely. I can't argue with that. So you're thinking that Fox is not really but there is credibility to the fact that WWE has to be unhappy with their ratings. I mean, the ratings keep going down for Raw and SmackDown. So you do admit that
it's all revenue. That's the thing. If they're getting the revenue, whether it be through, I mean, the network was a thing that didn't even exist before.
But they're acting like someone that's panicked.
Well, no,
are they not behaving that way? They're behaving like a panicked product.
No, I think they're behaving like a product that has shifted its plan lately, and they need to recover.
I just don't understand. When they came out in December or whenever that was, and they gave us the plan that they were going to start listening to the fans, Then they turned and said there was no more authority. You know, that's played out. We're going to give you what you want. It's been more authority. It's been more Shane McMahon and Vince McMahon, and I don't know what's happened.
Well, that's wrestling, you know.
Although I do like Daniel Bryan and Rowan being tag champs.
I don't think I do. And I'll tell you why. I think I'd rather have Daniel Bryan still in the singles main event picture.
He'll get back there.
I know he will, but as a tag team, I just rather see him as a single.
I feel like they did this to separate him a little bit from Kofi for a while, so they can get on with whatever story they're telling with Kofi. And now I am convinced Xavier Woods is going to be the one that heel turns.
What convinced you? Something happened last night that convinced you?
Nope, I just convinced myself. Okay. I think I convinced myself by thinking everyone sees a turn coming, and they see it coming from Big E. It's going to be Woods.
They've done a few things this week that I've appreciated. And as a longtime fan that everyone watching this is, I think everyone could appreciate. So like last night, they had Shane McMahon award the titles to Bryan and Rowan. And then the Usos came out and said, not on our watch. And I thought that was a sure tell that the Usos were going to win the titles.
But then do what with it? Because they're Raw superstars.
Is that even a thing anymore?
Yeah. I mean, they had to use the wild card option to come over.
Well, I still thought for sure the Usos were going to win because they came out. And on Monday, when they said that Ricochet's spot was up for grabs in this match, I thought for sure that meant, oh, we've changed our mind on Ricochet. We want to take him out. This is the lazy way we're doing it.
Right.
But that didn't happen either. Those were swerves for me as a longtime fan who's looking for tells.
So you think that now they're trying to swerve the swerves?
No, I'm just saying I appreciate that method of storytelling. It's counterintuitive to what they've done in the past.
You're right. I guess I didn't think that the Usos were going to win, but if anyone else had come out, I would have. Like if the Viking Raiders had popped out, I was going to be convinced.
Well, I'm surprised that's your reasoning because you just got done saying the brand split is all but done.
But they're still trying to act like it isn't. They're still saying it's the wild card, and at least they stuck to it. Only 4 people came over from Raw this time.
Yeah, it's just a way, you know, and also, like, to be honest.
And way to sell the dumpster, Sami Zayn. Like, they make him look like he died on Raw, and then the next night he's in the main event.
I got more of a we're trying to humiliate Sami than we're trying to kill Sami.
Sure.
I also wanted to say, I just had a point, and I lost it because I got a text message, and I thought it was someone from watching, but it's Spuds and Stuff telling me that their pulled pork is $5 today.
The potato sweats. I just kept going back to the bar. At one point, Chip said, "Have you had enough potatoes?" And I was like, "Not yet, pal." Because you know how like you go to a place and they have the ketchup and the mustard and the squirties. Uh-huh. Yeah, they had sour cream and mustard and butter in the squirties. Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, I've never had squirty butter before." That was a great idea. That was good. Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you. It actually it helped my best man get pregnant.
Pound of cheese.
That'll get anybody pregnant. So I don't even remember where we were. Happy birthday, Bastion Booger.
Happy birthday, Bastion Booger. We're going to celebrate with Spuds and Stuff. $5. No, you were saying you were surprised that I was using the reasoning of the wild card as to why the Usos weren't going to win it.
Just because, you know, you were saying that the brand split's all but done. And also, for everyone who's been complaining about the bad writing, you're probably the same people who were saying we don't like the brand split. This is a big, major step in the dissolution of the brand split.
Well, I agree with you on that, but we still agree that it was a bad SmackDown, don't we?
Yeah, it was not a fun, like Raw was an exciting show to watch because of that announcement and the way it played out. SmackDown just reran it and expected it to hit, and it didn't for me. Big win for Raw.
Shane McMahon feuding with The Miz and also feuding with Roman Reigns and also having Elias as a part, like, that's boring as balls to me.
Yeah, I'm with you there. What I've got a run sheet open. I don't remember everything that happened because I thought pretty much nothing happened. Let me see.
I mean, so far we've run down through the show all the way through, like the Miz attacks Shane McMahon again after Elias and Shane attack Roman Reigns. It's just one boring story after another with Shane. And then we get into Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, and I'm sorry, but Ember Moon does nothing for me.
Okay, Ember Moon's potential is there. I admit there's no reason for anyone to have clung to her on the main roster, but her match quality is good.
Sure, I haven't felt a connection at all yet.
Understood.
And then after that, we get to the main event, which I actually really enjoyed. And they gave this a good 25 minutes. They gave it a while.
There's actually one thing I wanted to get to that happened before the main event.
Okay.
There was some real exposition and character development, kind of, for Mustafa Ali.
With that promo.
That I thought it almost looked like a movie trailer. And you want to know another honest thing? You know what it reminded me of? The production value. You don't know what I'm going to say?
I don't.
The production value reminded me of the John Loxley, Dean Ambrose thing.
Oh.
Can you kind of see what I'm saying?
I can. So you think Moxley is still a work?
Guys, I am being 100% sincere when I'm not just doubling down for like the fun of, the greatest Royal Rumble feud. I'm saying you're all being worked. And I have never even, there's not even a part of me that's like questioning this.
Why would the WWE change Dean Ambrose's name back to John Moxley if they didn't let him be Moxley in the first place?
First of all, I'm not positive WWE is doing that. And second of all, it's all part of the plan. I'm telling you.
If WWE is not doing the work, what's the point of the work?
First of all,
it's a work, but to what end?
To get the smart fans, like literally everyone watching this, to believe that it's real.
He's shooting. Although when we get into arguing, my true honest to God feelings is that this is a shoot, that he's probably going to AEW with this thing, and it's not going to be on WWE TV anymore, and it's not a work. But there are so many Facebook pages and so many different stories about this. When I see a story, I see all these wrestling marks arguing about it. I'll tag Rob, and Rob will tell him it's a work, and then I'll pile on and defend Rob, and I'll be like, it's a work. It's work. I don't believe it's a work, but Rob and I are teaming up all over the internet and making people look stupid. It's kind of fun.
It is kind of fun. And I also want to say this, because everyone's going to come at me when you see John Moxley or Dean Ambrose or whoever in a different company. I'm still not going to admit, at least at first, that it's a shoot. And I will remind you, going back to the 80s and 90s, WWE sends their active talent out all the time.
They won't send active talent to AEW.
We don't know that.
Oh, boy, I feel like I know that.
They just inducted Billy Gunn into the Hall of Fame, who's like a very higher up guy there.
Okay.
They have a great working relationship with Cody, and Goldust is there. And yeah, I'm still, mark my words, even if he's in AEW, it's going to have to be like at least a year until I'm like, okay, you guys, I was wrong.
Okay. So if he shows up at Double or Nothing, if he shows up there, I'm going to start a counter. And after a year, you have to say that it was not a work.
Fine. Sure. Deal.
Done.
But boy, do you need to admit that, to quote you, I'm the smartest guy in class if this is a shoot.
If this is a work, if he's working, you're the smartest boy in school. No, if there's no arguing with that, you are the smartest boy in school if this ends up being a work.
I in my heart of hearts believe this is a very well done work.
All right, we'll see. But Mustafa Ali, I like that promo a lot. I thought that was good.
I'm just glad that they're giving him something. I didn't think it was all that spectacular, but I'm glad that it looks like they want to do stuff with him. They want to give him a character that he's been sorely lacking. A personality.
Yeah, good matches alone isn't going to do it. And there was also another personality-driven promo for Aleister Black. Looks like they put him in this tag team forever, But now they're holding them off as a singles competitor, and they're just trying to build to it, I feel.
This is also good because while I love the tag team of Ricochet and Aleister Black, I mean, they've literally been my two favorites in NXT. The tag team wasn't really doing them much favors. Like, it's time to get them both on their own.
Because they're not a team. They don't feel like they work together.
Yeah, and it's just kind of a random pairing, and they're both superstars on their own. You're doing them a disservice by teaming them up over and over again. So, and you know what? I guess to be fair, the tag team got them exposed to the main roster audience, and now we're ready to go.
I think Tommaso Ciampa getting injured is what really is what got them to be the tag team. Because when they brought all four of those guys in, I think they were working to have a DIY tag team, get that role, and then probably have Ricochet and Aleister do their own things.
I think this was the ultimate goal. I don't know if that specific thing is what got them on that course, because I feel like before that injury happens, they had only been really tagging, but I don't know for sure. So, anything else we need to get to? I feel like we hit everything big.
How did you feel about the main event? It's a triple threat. It has Sami Zayn, AJ Styles, Kofi Kingston. It's a good match to give it a lot of time. Woods gets involved, and then he said he wasn't going to be there because it was his birthday. Happy birthday, Kevin Owens. And he showed up just like I knew he would and wreaked havoc.
Kevin Owens is my favorite part of the show. I'm looking forward to him being the guy on SmackDown. I love his work so much.
You know how I feel about Kevin Owens.
I know.
I love that he's in a feud right now that it's actually working, and it's working, and they're really using him for what he's good at, and here we go.
Yeah, this is, I believe it's about to be Kevin Owens' time. Will it be at this pay-per-view? I'm not positive, but it's going to be sometime soon, and it's going to be a very dominant run. He is a good champion. His Universal title run was fantastic.
I thought he was great as the Universal Champion. When he, I just think back to it was one of my favorite teams ever with him and Jericho when they were calling each other. They were both the Universal Champions, and it was before the Festival of Friendship. It was ruined by Goldberg needing to have the championship going into WrestleMania because I think their match needed a Universal Championship attached to it more than Goldberg and Brock Lesnar. But whatever, que sera, sera.
Que sera, sera. Pal.
Whatever will be, will be.
I actually knew that meant that.
I know. I got as close to singing that song as I'm allowed.
Okay, so right, yeah, exactly. Anything else?
That's it. I think that's it. We wished a happy birthday. Tomorrow's Tito Santana, William Regal, Billy Kidman, Robert Roode.
All right. I believe next week is our first 3-episode week in a while.
Oh yeah, it's the predictions episode.
Isn't predictions next week? It's got to be.
And I've got predictions already. Like, I feel like I'm locked in on a bunch.
I'll tell you, I'm excited for this show. I feel like the matches are going to deliver on next Sunday.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Jer, I loved your story about your daughter and the way her day is going to be. I'm hoping that maybe on Tuesday, when we have our next episode, you can give us an update on how things went.
I don't love this. I don't love any of it.
We do. If you don't know what we're talking about, watch the beginning of the show.
I feel like it was just minutes ago. We brought her home from the hospital as a baby. You'll see what it's like. It goes by like that, pal.
About to find out. So long, everybody. We'll talk to you again on Tuesday.